Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Why and the How. This is our new series where we take a Jamf topic and try to break it down to why it matters and how to actually use it. So no long webinars, just practical stuff that you can take away in about 10 minutes. So to introduce myself, my name is Adam. I work for Jamf in EMEA, working on our security strategy. And I'm joined by my colleague, Elmo.
Yeah, hey, I'm an engineer at Jamf. I cover our Middle East and Africa and Central and Eastern Europe countries. So yeah, I help break down, I guess, complex technical problems that partners or customers might have and hopefully bring it to life to them. So nice to be with you, Adam.
Excellent. So we're kicking off this series recapping JNUC 2025. So what actually came out of it, what it means for our customers and for our partners, and what you can actually start using right now. We'll share some hopefully practical and actionable tips and tricks that you may have missed from the keynote announcements themselves. Now, before we dive into those topics, both Elmo and I were lucky enough to actually be at JNUC in person. What was your impression of JNUC, Elmo? Is it the first time you've been there in person?
Yeah, first time for me. So it was a lot of fun presenting, challenging, but fun. But yeah, maybe some people don't even know what JNUC really is about, right? But it is, well, I think the biggest gathering of Apple admins, Mac admins, in the world. And yeah, it's great to see face-to-face customers, maybe people that you've spoken to virtually, like we are now, Adam, maybe even colleagues. I know I spoke to a lot of customers who were actually there with teammates that they had never met in person either. So it's just an awesome place to get together. Well, obviously learn about Jamf, learn about Apple, but also have that social aspect to it. Have those in-person connections, and yeah, see a lot of really great sessions. What about you, Adam? Did you have any kind of key highlights this year?
Yeah, so this is my third JNUC that I've been fortunate enough to present at. The second in person, one was remote during the COVID years. And yeah, it was, as always at JNUC, first class in terms of the event itself. Obviously, our events team and the team that that put JNUC together put so much work into it. And already, yeah, the feedback that we received was, as you mentioned, this is a one-of-a-kind event that our customers and our partners really look forward to each year. The social element, the party, as always, was brilliant this year. A lot of fun. I had several great conversations one-on-one with some customers and partners, but also, yeah, like I was able to present, but also listen in on a couple of the sessions that our partners did as well. So it's not just Jamf presenters. We invite the whole Apple and Jamf community to present and share what they're doing, which is interesting or innovating with Apple and mobile. So let's crack on with this series. So we wanted to, as I said, look at some of the key announcements from JNUC. And for those that were able to watch the keynote live, you already know the kind of first and big announcement that was presented was our latest updates or enhancements to Blueprints. So let's start with Blueprints. Yeah.
Yeah, so blueprints are awesome because they're delivering the future of how we'll be managing our Apple devices going forward. So it's going to give us the benefits of Declarative Device Management, or DDM. This means real-time status updates, faster enforcement of settings and configurations, as well as easier troubleshooting. If I go to create a blueprint, you'll see a bit of what I mean here. We have a components library. This is separated into declarative configurations, which use Apple's declarations. These settings and configurations are fully delivered through DDM. But we also have profile payloads. These are legacy configuration profiles, but they're being wrapped and deployed via DDM. This means that you still get the benefits of DDM, even for settings that are not yet fully available as declarations. So it's really, really cool. We can just look through this list, grab what we would want to add to our declaration group, and go and deploy DDM declarations, as well as profile payloads, all through a single blueprint using DDM. It's really cool.
Do you have any DDM examples, Adam, that you've seen that you like that we've got available in Blueprints?
I mean, I think what we actually demoed live at JNUC, and I don't know if that's what you're going to showcase in a second, Elmo, but the software automation, software update automation, like the fact that you can, yeah, essentially set a rule once and then the system keeps those devices compliant on its own is, yeah, that's the true sort of meaning or use for this declarative device management framework, right? I think it solves a big challenge that a lot of admins have, but also security teams. Like, it keeps them happy that they can trust that these devices have some kind of patching, software update, version control in place, but also the users aren't then being overly relied on to kind of, yeah, configure these changes themselves. So I think that is going to be the most effective use of this from a simplicity point of view.
Yeah, so let's actually see how simple it is for an admin to configure this by building a software update blueprint. So I'm going to filter by our declarative configurations. At the bottom of this, I've got software updates. I'll drag that over. We have the specific OS version in time, but what Adam mentioned us announcing at JNUC is the latest OS version. So all I need to do is select how many days after a OS release by Apple. In my case, I'll say 7. And at what local time do I want this update to automatically be enforced on my managed devices? Note, this is across all of my Apple devices. You can, of course, change this if you like by choosing a scope. Maybe in this example, rather than having this be applied across all my managed clients, I'll just select all managed iPads. We'll give this a title. I'll say software update iPads, and we'll select deploy. So if you're new to using Blueprints, this is a really great starting point to get familiar with DDM, as well as how to build blueprints using either our declarative configurations or the alternative profile payloads.
Yeah, awesome. I think that's perfect. Perfect way of putting it. This is the ideal first step if you're just playing around with blueprints, and obviously if you are or have been utilizing this functionality for a little while, I definitely start enabling this. It will solve a lot of headaches, I'm sure. So the next area or announcement that we showcased during the keynote was Platform Single Sign-On or PSSO, and the kind of latest capabilities that Jamf provides full support for. So obviously this is going to simplify user provisioning. Ideally, it's also going to enable seamless authentication across your apps and browsers with SSO extensions, and also unlocks new secure authentication methods using Apple's Secure Enclave. So let's have a little look at that in a bit more detail.
Yeah, so let's start with the end user experience for Platform Single Sign-On. Here, I just wanted to show the Okta simplified setup that we've enabled and announced at JNUC. So during the setup assistant in our pre-stage enrollment settings in Jamf Pro, we're going to outline a bundle ID for Okta that we want to wait on prior to proceeding with the user enrollment. Once that package is present, it will show the user this Okta single sign-on screen. It's going to guide them through authentication with their Okta credentials here. Once they log in, all of the account information for that local user on the Mac is going to be pre-populated. They won't be able to change that as an end user. The great thing though is, well, they're still going to go through the rest of your setup assistant settings based off of how you've set those up in Jamf, but they'll still be able to take advantage of Apple native features like Touch ID when you're using Platform Single Sign-On. So it's kind of a best of both worlds for the end user. Now they will see one more single sign-on screen after setting up Touch ID. This is going to make sure that the single sign-on extension is also leveraged across the system. The user is going to be asked for an MFA authentication here, and once they go and approve the login, the device will have the single sign-on extension alongside Platform Single Sign-On usable on the system. This means regardless of what apps or web resources they log into, if they have a valid Okta login session going, they won't be required to re-authenticate. Now, Entra ID does also support Platform Single Sign-On. Here's just a bit of a preview of what it looks like for an existing user. We've got Company Portal already deployed to this Mac. They're just going to go through a login process. Keep in mind, each IDP might have a different set of workflows for how to enable Platform Single Sign-On. The goal at Jamf, though, is through our simplified setup, you'll be able to very easily configure these settings as an admin, while also having the needed visuals for the end user to successfully go through that enrollment process, all within a few clicks.
Yeah, awesome. I think that's what I like about it, the simplicity. And yeah, you've got security and user experience, kind of shaking hands, if you like. So yeah, a lot of excitement around that. And the other announcement that certainly got a lot of excitement, both live in the room and in the sessions that followed, was our infrastructure as code announcement. So the official Jamf platform Terraform provider, it really represents our first enterprise grade infrastructure as code solution for Apple device management, right?
Yeah, and what we mean by infrastructure as code is, I guess, leveraging code rather than a web interface or a GUI to configure Jamf and to, well, manage devices. So certain organizations that are maybe already into GitOps, for example, would love this kind of method of making just changes to code or YAML configurations. And these kind of act as a puzzle piece to leverage or call upon the APIs that Jamf have to do what's needed to manage devices within their organization.
So if you want some more information on this, we've already got a great Managing Jamf Configuration with Terraform introduction document. This is a really great write-up by some of my colleagues to get familiar with infrastructure as code and Terraform. But we've also got a Jamf Concepts GitHub page already available as well for Terraform on the Jamf platform. This gives you an idea of some of the modules and infrastructure that's going to go into this. Now, infrastructure as code will be also leveraging our new platform APIs going forward. These aren't available yet, but our developer documentation has been recently updated to already give you some insights into what will be included in our platform APIs. So also keep your eyes peeled for more on this going into next year, especially if you're going to be interested in using infrastructure as code within your organization.
Yeah, awesome. I am really looking forward to seeing how our customers are going to utilize that at a larger scale. So I think for today's session, that probably concludes what we're going to sort of focus on. Obviously, there were loads more announcements at JNUC, like with my security hat on, like I particularly loved the enhancements we've made to our vulnerability management reporting, our compliance benchmarks, the telemetry enhancements, like the fact that we can now sort of get visibility and send that into a SIEM for things like app launches, removal storage usage, TCC authorization. I think what I think we should definitely do, Elmo, is do a deep dive on those as individual topics in future series. So look out for our upcoming videos on each of those. As well as that, we also had Jamf Executive Threat Protection, our very unique world-class mobile forensics tool that I think we definitely will do a deep dive on for those that are interested. So watch this space.
Yeah,
watch this space for that.
Security special, right? We'll put a security special in the cards. So yeah, and if you want to have a bit of a recap as well of like we said at the start, JNUC has hundreds and hundreds of sessions. There's no way we can unfortunately recap them all into a 5 or 10 minute video. So if you want to have more details about anything that happened at JNUC as well, some of the announcements, definitely feel free to check out our blog pages as well. There's really cool write-ups for both commercial as well as education customers. We didn't talk about education a ton today, Adam, but a lot of the features actually that we spoke of will also be applicable to education. So you can also get some updates there. A lot of great security content as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for the next session. And if you have any future suggestions on what you'd like us to delve into further, message myself or Elmo, or leave a message in the comments.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you, Elmo. I'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, see you all soon. See you on the internet.